CSS animations are one of the most awesome properties of CSS because it actually brings your elements to life. You know, you get them to see kind of move around in your page, which is super cool. So let's get started. And it doesn't have a lot of the problem is that JavaScript animations has. Okay, so in here we have a single file called a website.html. We're using Visual Studio Code and Open Live Server as usual. Boom, that's all we have. We have a single file and we style the file. Everything here we learned before. So let's create animations. So what are the animations? First of all, animations change the style of a property. So maybe the width or the text or the background over a period of time. That's all animations do. And to create an animations in CSS, you need to use keyframes. Let's do that. Basically, you create a keyframe and then you give the keyframe an identifier. So let's call it anime, or like anima1. It's kind of the animation one, or just call it anima for that matter. You can call it anything you want. You can have multiple animations. And here you write your frames. So there is these two properties that I want to set. So I'm gonna say right now I want to say from and I want to change the width. That's the property that I want to change. So I want to start, which is kind of where you start. I want to start at 10%, and I want it to go. I want it to go, and I'm still changing that property to 100%. So what I want to do is I want to change the width property of something from 10% to 100%. That's all the animation is doing. Actually, we need to take this outside. There we go. Not inside the button. Okay, cool. So here's our animation, and here we have a button. Right now, as you have noticed, nothing is happening because they're not connected. What we need to do is we actually need to connect our animation to this element. So to do that, we say animation name, and now is the name of our animation called anima. And if I save that, you still don't see anything. What's happening here? Actually, the default duration, the time the animation takes is 0. So it already happened. It's just insanely too fast. So let's change that. So let's change animation duration to 1 second. Whoa, to 1 second. And if I save it now you see, right? In 1 second it happened. If I save the file, it happens, and then the animation ends. It stops. Then you can make it to take 2 seconds. It happens and it stops. So that's basically the beginning of animation. Is that you define an animation and you stick to it. Now there are some more properties of animation that we're gonna set. First of all, I want to set the animation delay. You could do delay, which means it's right now. Let me save this. Right now, as soon as we save the file, it runs and then it ends. What if we want it to delay for a certain number of seconds? So I want to delay, like, let's say 2-3 seconds. So after I save the file, the animation would start 3 seconds later. Or you could, when the user, in real life, you can say when the user visits that page, wait for 3 seconds or something like that. If I save, I wait for 3 seconds, and now it begins and then it ends. So that's the duration. The animation would wait. There is also, so we have the duration delay. There is also animation. You could do iteration count. So it's how many times do you want the animation to run. So if you want to run, right now it's just running 1 time. That's the default. I want to run 3 times. So if I save the file, actually I want to make this one. So if I fail to save the file, now 1, so once, twice, and 3 times, and then it stops. So animation would run only 3 times. That's great. But here you can change more than just one property. So this is just, we have a whole like CSS here. So now we're only changing the width. I want to change, what I want to do is I want to change the background too. I want to change the background color called from green. So that initially would just be green. So now, as you can see, it's going from green to the default color. So if I save this, and the animation would happen 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. That's great. So now you can understand that you can change multiple things. But also here, instead of having just 2 frames when called, we can do percentage. So we can say 0%. So the animation would run, and then we could do like 50%. That should happen, and then 100%. So you are dividing up the time, saying initially this is what should happen, in 50% this is what should happen. So I'm just gonna double copy this and then copy it here. If I save that, actually I want this to be 50%, and then this 100%, and then I wanted this to be red, and then I wanted this to be orange. Then if I save that, now let's see what happens. Because this one is 100%, now let's save it. So now it starts from 10%. When it's 50% of animation is finished, it changed the width and it changed to orange. So now now it becomes orange, and then it becomes red. So these are the frames that it's changing when the animation is 100%, and then you can write like a ton of different things here. Now animation count right now it's 3, but we could change that. So I want to remove the width because it's gonna mess with it. So I'm just gonna remove the width. Now we're only changing the background. Now you can make it infinite. So I save this. The background color will keep changing infinitely between these 3. So from green to orange to red. See? And then you can change many other properties. Now I wanna show another example where I kinda move around the item. So let's see here. You have the keyframes animation, and see, you can set one more thing that you can set. Actually, I want to go to the width here because to kind of show this, and then I want to make this infinite. So it would like always run, it wouldn't stop. And then one more property is called animation timing function. An animation timing function is basically how does it work. See, let me comment that. If I save this, see the animation runs. See, it's right now it's just smooth. So it runs then. Now you can change how that works. So if I say ease in, actually I wanna remove this so it's more clear from 0 to that. So let's just say ease, which is the default. So now if you see it, it's kind of like it just runs through. And if you say ease in, it actually acts. See, initially it was slow, so it's like a slow start and then it runs fast. And then if you say out, the timing function, now it will start fast, but then it will slow down at the end. And you can also use both. So if you say in and out, now it will have a slow start, fast middle, and end. But you can also use this property called see this one here, cubic bizarre or something. See, so you could go to this website .com, and this is kind of how it works. So you could, this is what we have seen so much. So this one runs really fast and then it's slow at the end. This one is slow and fast and then it's slow at the end. This one is the initially, so it kind of climbs that, but you can choose the way you want. So I'll say I want this. So here, what I created my own, so you can move around this to create your own. So I want it to be like really fast, then it's slow, and then really fast. Then I can go here and copy this, and if I paste it here, save this. Now you see it's fast, and then it stops in the middle, and then it runs. And then if I do this infinitely, save this. That is that is pretty cool. And all we have is great. So let me actually I want to uncomment this one, just so we just use the default, which is, and then I want to make this also uncommented. Actually, let's just uncomment it here. Don't want to remove it. Now I want to move around the item. So here are some more examples. So I want to move this button from like here to here, like to different locations around the page. So what I can do is I can make the position relative, so relative to where it currently is, and then in here I would just change. So I want to move left. I want to add to see here 20m. I save that. You see that it really moved fast. So see, make it 10 here. Actually, I want to make it 5, and then I want to also make top 5 m. Let's see, it's half. I want to have 50%. Okay. Then I want to have the opposite here, so I can have just the negative of these two. So if I save this, okay, I need to make it bottom 5. It has the same effect as the negative, but I want to use this. Do that, say right. So basically what we're doing is initially and then I want to remove the delay, comment out the delay, and then let me save this. So as you can see right now, it's basically moving from this location to a location here and then going back to that location. So if I make it infinite, so you can see it better, see? Now it's just moving around, and it's second duration of 2 seconds. I want to make it 1 second. Because the problem right now is because we're just going from 0 to 100. That is like, so we can add middle pathways, if you might call it. So we can add, I want to add 25% here. So when it's 25% on the way, when it's 50% on the way, when it is, and then 75 on the way, 75% on the way. Okay. So actually I want to stop this because it's messing with my head. Okay, move. So let's move this. So I want to start from basically to be 0, both, because that's just where it is. And then I want to go to 1 here. Then I want to go to 2 here. Actually, I want to go to 2, yep. And then I want to go to 3 here. And then I want 4. Now if I run, now you kind of see, right? It's check. So it basically says check. It kind of moves around the way you expect it. So it moves like this way, 1 1 and then 1 1 and 1 1, and then it goes back to the original position. And if I do this, now here's where something. Actually, I'm gonna make this 5 to kind of, and then this 4. Then save this. And make it infinite to kind of see the change better. See, check. But then it's starting over. No, that's all good. But you can change the direction. Actually, I don't want to change the top here. I just want to change the left. Then in here, I don't want to change the left. I just want to change the top. So let me do that. Okay, and so I want to make this 2. I save this. Let's see. Okay. So that's 0. They both started from 0. Here I just want to make this 2 while keeping the top 0. So it just moves that way. Actually, I want to make it 5, so it moves better. Now it has like a zigzag. Okay, and then after that, I want to make left what it was, so it's 5. Then I want to make the top 5, so it basically see, let's make this 10. Nice. Then after it went there, I want to move back, so I want to move right here. I want to move right 10, and then let's see, let's save this. Okay, I want to move bottom 10. And finally, here I want to move. So let me just comment out this. Okay, so it's not moving. So I want to move right 10. So I want to move even right 5 and then bottom 5. Okay, bottom. What I'm trying to do is, there you go, make it actually infinite to kind of see the change. So it is going way off the space, so let's just change this to 2. Remove this 2. Yeah, you can have even right. So now it's like tick 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 tick, but you can change the direction. So you could do like animation direction if you wanted to change it to direction. So you can then normal, you can reverse it, and if I reverse it, it starts from here. See, it's going up. It's going up. I actually want to make just one long animation. So let's just make left 10 initially. And then top would be 0, and then top would be 10 here, and then top would be 20 here, and then top should be 30 here. So let's just do top is 40 and then remove the last 2. Start its reverse, so let me change the reverse here. And finally, this wouldn't actually be anything, and here remove that, and top 60. And we need to keep the left because it's automatically becoming 0, and make the top 0 pixels, and make a tab here 0 pixels, and we want the left to stay 10 m pixels per m. Now we could see it's, let me stop the iteration. So now we have a single line. So normal, when the direction is normal, this is the normal we expect to be. Actually, I'm gonna make it 4 seconds, so it takes forever. Like this normal, and it starts from here and it just moves. Right now we could do. We can open the iteration here, so we see that better. So now it's just normal, and it's kind of stopping every kind of keyframe. So wherever it stops that. Now, as we already said, you can reverse the direction. Now it's coming from back, and then it goes to the top, and then it's gonna come from the back. You can say alternate. So alternate means it starts normal, but then it's gonna go back from here. That is way too far, so I want to say 50. See, from here, and then it goes back. And since we could change here, we could make the function is in, or is as we choose. See, it's kind of like basically makes it smooth. And here we're kind of stopping, and because we have all this. Now, if I remove all the middle, now I have just one smooth one. It doesn't stop. I'm going straight from this to this. So now it kind of has that bounce effect. And it will keep going like that. And now you can also you say alternative first, and if you say that, it starts from the back and then it would alternate after that. And now you can understand how you can have a ton of fun with this, because you can say bottom. See, I want to add one more thing here. Border bottom, I want to make it 2 pixels solid gold. If I make that, actually I want to make it 20 pixels. So you could animate it so when it actually hits the button, it gets the gold. So the gold would be when it's like around 9. Oh wait, when it's around the 90%. We comment that out. So here you can say when it's about 90 80%, I want to give that. So now and then we can, instead of refresh, just say alternate, save that. So when it's about 90%, it will have a border, see? And you can also say about 99.99%. So it is when it's like almost there. There you go. And now it can. So now you understand how you can change all the stuff. Yeah, that's all about animation. This video was kind of the longest video I've ever made. Hopefully all those examples helped you, and practice. The more you practice, the more you will understand. And all these properties, if you don't want to set all of them at the same time, there's just animation one where you can list. So for example, anima, so the name comes first, then the duration comes first, which is kind of 4 seconds in here. After duration, you have the function, so we have ease in. After the function, you have the delay, which we have 4 seconds here. After the delay, you have basically the infinite kind of thing, the iteration count. After the iteration count, you have alternate or reverse or whatever, which I'm gonna say alternate. And then if I uncomment all this, everything here, and I save it, let's see, what are we missing here? No, we're not missing anything because we made the delay 4 seconds. So the delay, now you can set it this way or this way, whatever you like. Good luck and see you in the next video.